Hi, this is Karen from Cosmic Messengers Facebook and here in YouTube. So I just wanted to add a little bit to my video, the paranormal experience that I had this week. Actually, it's more like four. Well, out of the ordinary, I would say, because usually there's always something happening, but this week was really more intense than the usual. So basically, I'll start with the first one. I was talking with my friend on WhatsApp and we're exchanging information. She's asking me about Elon Musk and I'm telling her how he's connected with the Alpha Centauri, ETs, and working for the good, and as well as other topics. I can't remember, but one of them was neutrality, and how that works. And basically, after that, I got this whole download of having to do with the war. We weren't talking about the war, but this came to me, and my guides, my guides are from, I have 7 guides, so I telepathically communicate with them, and I get this download. It's like a zip drive. It can come in an image. I'm guided like I'm either seeing an image on the internet, and all this download comes. It's like a zip drive. So all this information, and I'm writing and writing, and after I write, I have to go back and like, wow, things, believe me, the things I go back and I'm like, where did all of this come from? I learn from what I write. That's how it goes. I'm like, what? Really? It's like, so it's very bizarre, but that's how it works. Because I'm in the now moment and I'm like, oh yeah, all makes sense. And like, and then they wrap it up and like, oh, okay, so I'm still writing, and then sometimes I have to go back and add more stuff and another image, and there comes a time when like, oh, okay, now I know it's done. Oh, I just saw my guides. It's like I have these white flickering lights. They're here. Awesome. Okay, so I connect with 7 guides and I channel 2 of them, and this one was from Andromeda Galaxy. Those are the ones I channel the most. My direct family, I would say, and they're a nebula, a nursery of stars, a stellar consciousness, and they somehow connect. Well, somehow they connect through crystalline technology, through crystals, with my peeps, my people that are in physical form from Andromeda Galaxy in the intergalactic spaceship. So my family, the star beings, consciousness, and they've shown me an image, and I'll post it. Maybe some of you have seen it in past videos. They look like light balls, but they're just gold, like a figure, like a human figure, but it's just light gold, like head, and it's just light. It's beautiful. That's how they portray that to me, so I can kind of conceptualize what they are, because they're really a consciousness. They're not physical form, and they're photonic because stars, light, right? All right, so they connect with the physical. Andromeda is also family in the intergalactic spaceship. I mean, it's a whole long story how this encounter came about, but I'm like hearing all these stories. I'm like, what is going on in this channeling? And they guided me to see other contactees who, you know, validated everything that I was given. And I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to this people. They're really here. So yeah, that's how it all started. Either way, so I'm connected with those intergalactic confederation. And they connect through crystalline technology in the ship with that consciousness. It's amazing. So I got this download. Back to my download, right? Because I'm so diversing here. So it's like one gift you open up, then you got another story, then another. It's like a fractalization of stories. It's never ending. It's amazing. So back to my download. So I got the war, how we have to be in neutrality. Go and read it. It's beautiful. Then I got there's a comments part explaining all of that, how that download happened. And then after, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even see, because they asked me to put this image, go find this kind of image, blah, blah, blah. Put that together like this. And like, okay. And then after I posted, then I'm like looking at something that I hadn't even clicked. Like, it's about the head. They were talking about the head and the heart, the brain and the heart, right? And I didn't even see, because the top of the pyramid was like the head, and the other one was center heart. It's like, wow. So like I said, every time I go back, I get wow, shocked with everything that comes through. So that was one. The download, well, that people already knew, because I already posted the download. But after writing the download, so I go take a shower. I take my phone, because sometimes I listen to videos while I'm taking a shower. I take my time, so I'm listening to the video. But suddenly I start like the flicker. I'm like, what's flickering? My lights, of course. So I look at the lights. No, the lights are not flickering. And this was in a span of 30 seconds. It happened like 6 times, like spaced out. 2 2, and then 1 2 2, and then 1 1. So maybe 6 times, 7. So I look at the light bulbs. They're normal yellow light bulbs, not color yellow. You know, they're not LEDs. So white. Those are just, mine were just yellow normal incandescent light bulbs. So they're not flickering. But my flicker, I'm there, suddenly there in my shower, and then to a white place, back, white. Everything's white. And I'm thinking, hold on, if it was the light, you go to black, right? The lights are off, it's black. But no, I was going to whiteness. And I'm like, I'm not understanding this. Then I look at my phone, and it's just there on an email. I didn't have it on a video, actually. So it was just sitting there in this area. And like, I look at it, like, it's not flickering. I mean, phones don't flicker, you know, like you know, when you get that image flickering, like, no. No, especially because there are no videos playing either. So I'm like, phone's not flickering, the light's not flickering. Oh my God, it happened again. And like, what is going on? So I'm there going to whiteness. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, what is this? I guess this is like a glitch in the matrix people talk about. But yeah, then I'm like thinking, oh yeah, you know, well, Neo in the Matrix movie was there in this white space, you know, with all the light, the scenes of his life were around him on screens, and he's talking to Source, right? So everything was white. So white, right? And usually when we talk about going to the void, it's like, oh, everything's black, but somehow on and neutrality, finding neutrality, the 0 point. Go back to the video that we just did. We're talking about neutrality point, and no space time. And so we usually think, oh, black, but no, this was white. So that was like mind-boggling experience. I was still scratching my head, and actually I felt some dizziness after, which reminded me that my friend, I explained to her some details of how to construct and your antennas, I call it, or your spaceship, because you have your Merkaba, but it's not just your Merkaba. You continue on doing other geometries around you, your icosahedron, your dodecahedron, first your hexahedron, the cube, and so there's all these geometries that you have to activate. We all have it, we just have to activate around you. So I explained once to my friend, and she said, oh, I got a little nauseous. So I told her, what happens is that you're going too fast into a different frequency. And when you do that, you get that little back nauseousness. Maybe when you've meditated really deep, and then you get that effect as well. So yeah, I got that same effect. And it's not about when you feel sick, nauseous, car sick, kind of things, like, or I feel like fainting. It's a total different sensation, because you feel pale, it's like white, and it's like, no, this was like the same subtle thing that you feel when you're going from a different to a different frequency too fast. And that's what happened. So wow, something definitely happened. And like I said, I'm still scratching my head. So we got the download. Well, I get downloads all the time, but it's just that it was succeeded by the glitch experience. And then it was my guides explaining to me about the neutrality. So basically it all tied up with what I've been talking about, my download. And so this was more for me to experience what all of that is. It was so beautiful. I'm like, wow. It's because I felt like not going into a panic. I felt like, oh, it's like, all white. So that's the beauty that I felt. I wouldn't say love. I would say just like being in like total, I could call it enlightenment. Yeah, picture yourself in that white room and like, oh, kind of thing. And it's a feeling of totality, of oneness, and I don't know, it's beyond words. So also I've been doing this class on remote viewing. It's my third week, and this week we had two targets, and I was so good. One of the targets was level 3. There's up to level 4, which is really, things that you might not want to encounter, but so we're doing level 3, and I hit the mark. It like, we just got a number, but it was a missing persons case. I saw there was a search for this person. I did get something wrong, because it was a lady that was missing and not a guy. I got a guy, but then there was a guy that abducted this girl, and at the end he was injured, which I saw he was injured, but I saw that this person, the subject, was alive. And so I got those things right. So it's fascinating how your consciousness in remote viewing is basically just going, because your consciousness is not locked in your brain. It's just, the whole universe is just thought. It's just like us downloading information onto the cloud, right? From your phone, it goes to the cloud. It goes to servers, but it's stored in the clouds. It's the same thing. Everything you say gets stored in the cloud. So that's what your consciousness just is not locked on your brain. Again, it goes. And the same way, I'm in 0 point. I got one of those nodes that you see on the last video. Go check it out if you didn't. There's images. So I jumped, you jumped, you jump, jump, jump. And they're attached to numbers. And those numbers are the frequencies. Every node has a frequency vibratory signature. So what we get is the numbers, and that is what is attached. The person that gets the image, he got the missing person node and some of the details, and then the other thing was another image that we got. We had to, he just had some picture from some place in I think Peru, but it was very unique kind of town, so I got some targets from there too. Amazing. So, but, and then the missing person too, it's just numbers you get, but those numbers are then attached to the image. So you vibrate, connect those two, and now when you get the number, you're already getting the whole picture of what it is. Amazing how consciousness works, and how we all have the ability to do it. We just need to work the muscles. And then the next one, the bathtub, also download that I got. Usually I get one of those a week, and sometimes two, but this one was like so many, right, already. So the bathtub situation, download, it's in the last video. Beautiful, beautiful, of how we need to get into that 0 point, into that neutrality through meditation. My guys just showed me an image of the tub, and boom, 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 boom. Like all the things attached to it that we need to do while in that moment, that Zen moment. Let's say you're in that tub. So go just look at that, so I don't repeat the whole story, but it's fascinating, everything that was given through that one image of connected to how we should center ourselves in that neutrality point, so we can access the whole consciousness. And the last point is the live. On Matias portal, there's, once you sign up for the class, you're going to see the video area, the workbook area for homework. Then you got the live, because he's doing lives, 90-minute lives per week. So you get to ask questions and answers directly to Matias on these live sessions that he'll hold. And I've been looking at that page the whole week to see what's the Zoom link that's going to happen, that it will happen on. And every time I looked at it, oh, okay, there's nothing there. Oh my God, I've been here already. I realized that I already knew, like, oh, this is, okay, this is happening. What is happening is he hasn't done the live yet. And I knew that already. Every time I look there, I know there's going to be a delay. I'm like, oh my God, it's not there yet. So yeah, my deja vu, I'm getting this deja vu that he had a problem. He couldn't do it during the week. It's every class is from Monday to Sunday, so he didn't show up on the live yet. It wasn't scheduled. It just says to be announced, to be announced. And every time I go to see that to be announced, I'm like, oh my God, I'm being taken to a point in time in the future where I already saw that happening, and him explaining, oh, I had some problems through my travels, couldn't connect. It's like, but I just already, every time I look at it, deja vu. Deja vu. Oh my God, I've seen this before, this situation. And usually we all have deja vus, but it just happens randomly during the day. Something happens and it's like, oh, I think I've seen this scene before, right? Before. And then it goes away, and then you go about in your day. But this one, it's every time I look and look at that screen on the computer, I am taken back to that future point in time where I've already experienced that. But it's every time I go and look, I am placed right back into that space time where that whole situation has happened already. So that's bizarre. It's a different um, deja vu where you get to re-experience it and realize every time you're going to that other space time. Anyway, so I hope you find this amusing. I just wanted to share how getting out of your routine and doing the techniques, how to do that, centering yourself, finding a different way to do things differently, not going around the same old routine, and being in awareness of what you're doing and expand yourself. I want to do things different. So what I did different this week is, like, I got my friends together. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be in front of the camera. You know why? Because I want to share the love we always share in our phone calls, and let's do something different. Let's put it on video. So this was the whole shift. I had this ready for the whole week. So I set my mind and my heart, especially my vibration, I would say, for this to happen, something different. Let's share the love, the experience that we always have through the phone. I'm sure people listening would love to hear some of the background information, because we always hear the concepts, but we don't get to experience what's happening to people when you experience that in real life. So I just wanted to share that with you, how doing that shift in your life can create other worldly dimensional cross bleeding, right? Because you're kind of bleeding into a different dimension. You're tapping into that. It's there. We can't just see it with our sensories per se. We kind of, the more we perfect our frequency, we can perceive more and more. So I just wanted to share that, and go ahead, do the class. It works. It helps. Sending you love. Bye.